Hello and welcome to another Dragon Ball FighterZ video. Today, TGN Anime presents a character profile for base Goku. Goku is probably one of the most natural anchors in this game. His power rises every time one of your characters dies, so he's able to dish out a lot of damage very easily through the use of his powered up KAIOKEN and of course his huge Spirit Bomb. But before we talk about his supers, we have to start smaller. Let's discuss some of his unique normals. This version of Goku doesn't have a low light attack, which makes sense within the lore of fighters. Goku only learned how to hit low with a light attack when he obtained the power of the gods. Before that, he was a dick punching scumbag. Also worth noting, the second hit of his light auto combo takes the opponent off the ground, and I know this is gonna mess with a lot of people's muscle memory. He's by no means the first character that has this, but I thought I had to mention it since, you know, he's a character that costs money. And if you're one of those players that can't really adapt mid-string, then this is a problem. He can still follow up with a low-medium attack, but you have to delay your low-mid if you want to pick up that combo. Or you can just confirm into a down-heavy, that's probably the easier route. His jumping medium is really good for cross-ups. It's pretty much the same as Super Saiyan Goku. It has a very good reach, and I think that's also something worth keeping in mind. And finally, his down special is very different. Goku brings a ki blast from the ground, and he can control the distance of this ki blast. If you hold down back or down forward, you'll shoot the ki blast closer or further away from you. What's even better is the fact that you can shoot 2 of these in a row, and you can choose their positions at will. And if you try to shoot 3 attacks, then Goku vanishes and hits the opponent with an overhead attack. So yeah, pretty good tool to use in neutral, especially since you can confirm into a vanish and do some extra damage from there. This is punishable by a down heavy though, so use or assist to cover you. Moving on to his special attacks, first up we have the Kamehameha with quadricycle forward and a special button. Just like Super Saiyan Goku, this one works both on the ground or in the air, and you can even aim it up or down if you input an extra direction. The only difference between this and other beam attacks is the fact that this one only hits once. It still deals 1000 damage, even though it's a single hit, so it works a little bit like Tien's beam, but it doesn't launch the opponent up when it hits. It causes a wall bounce just like a regular Kamehameha. Next up we have 2 specials for the price of 1 motion. First, you gather energy with quadricycle back and the special button, and then you input the same motion to throw a Spirit Bomb. This Spirit Bomb will be different depending on how much energy you gather. There are 3 levels in total, which you charge by holding down the special button when you do the motion. After you gather the energy, you can't gather any more before you throw your Spirit Bomb. So for instance, you can't go into level 1 and then gather the other 2 remaining levels. No, first energy, then Spirit Bomb. That's how it works. All versions of the Spirit Bomb will throw the opponent upwards if he doesn't block it. This does eat through your smash attack, and if you bring the opponent back down after a super dash, it does not cause a sliding knockdown, so it's the worst way of eating a smash attack, but it does deal a lot of damage. Higher levels will deal even more damage and throw the opponent even higher on the screen, and his level 3 Spirit Bomb is one of the only ways that Goku has to combo into his level 3 super, but more on that later. Both the energy gathering and the Spirit Bomb only work while Goku is on the ground. Then we have 2 attack specials. First, the heavy elbow with quadricycle forward and the light, medium, or heavy attack buttons. This one works both on the ground or in the air. It reminds me of Goku Blue's elbow, but with a few key differences. The light attack version is fast and incredibly easy to include in combos. The medium attack is a little bit tougher since Goku jumps back before attacking the opponent, but it does cause a wall bounce, allowing you to follow up if you're in the corner. So you can use assists to combo into this, and it also seems like a perfect tool for sparking blast baits. And the heavy attack version doesn't cross up like Goku Blue, but it does do the same step back motion, just like the medium attack version, only this time it's a lot faster, and of course it costs a bar of meter. You can also combo into this using Goku alone, you don't need an assist, and since it causes a wall bounce, it's pretty easy to pick up the combo from there. It's not as easy to include this in combos as the light attack version. You'll need to lab it a bit, because you can't just follow up with any Goku attack. And the final special attack on the list is the back throw with quadricycle backwards and the light, medium, or heavy attack buttons. Goku is still a very honest character, but he does have a command grab this time around. The light attack version has Goku lunging only a short distance before the grab, and then he throws the opponent towards his back, which can be followed up by a vanish. The medium attack version is slower, but Goku travels a lot more before the grab. There's a good range on this command grab, though its effect upon landing it is exactly the same as the light attack version. The heavy attack also lunges forward a decent amount, and if you grab the opponent, it has this automatic follow-up, which allows you to extend the combo just on your own. With a low medium, with the auto combo, with an assist, you don't have to spend an extra bar bar for a vanish to extend from here. Moving on to his supers, he's got a level 1 that changes quite a bit depending on how the fight is going, and a very unique level 3 that is quite situational but deals some heavy damage. Starting with his level 1, we're gonna spend some time on this super, the KAIOKEN with quarter circle forward and the right bumper or trigger. Goku will lunge towards the target and initiate a combo. Now, if everyone on your team is alive, the combo can have 3 hits plus a finisher. And these 3 hits are totally up to you, because each button you press will have a different effect. The light attack button attacks the opponent from the front, and if you press it again, it will be followed up by an overhead attack. Or if you want the overhead attack to come out first, you press down and the light attack button. The medium attack will cross up to the opponent's back and then follow up with a low attack. And again, if you want the low attack first, just press down and the medium attack button at the same time. Then we have the heavy attack button, which should only be used upon activation. This is a command grab, which is an awesome activation, but if you try to put it in the middle of your KAIOKEN, you will actually drop your combo. Finally, the special attack button throws a projectile that's very fast. You cannot throw multiple projectiles, but if you want max damage, this should be your starter, because everything else scales really well from here. For the finisher, you can press the right bumper at this stage after the 3 hits. Now bear in mind that if your opponent blocks, you can still follow up with attacks. So you can use this as a mix-up option, but you're also incredibly vulnerable to heavy attacks or vanish, so don't rely too heavily on this. And that's not all. KAIOKEN also gets stronger with every character that dies on your team. If you've already lost a character, Goku's KAIOKEN becomes a KAIOKEN times 3. And instead of a 3-hit combo, Goku gets a 5-hit combo plus a finisher. And not only can you use the right bumper finisher, you can then also use the right trigger for extra damage with a Kamehameha. Although the Kamehameha does cost an extra bar of meter. And finally, if Goku loses both of his teammates, if he's the last character alive, the KAIOKEN becomes a 7-hit combo and the Kamehameha finisher becomes a hard knockdown. Now you won't have a great Oki afterwards, but at least your opponent can't tech. There's a lot to KAIOKEN, so I definitely recommend experimenting in training mode, because you'll need to get used to the timing of the button presses and knowing how many hits you have before throwing the finisher, because you really have to press that finisher button. You can spam everything else, you can mash, but you have to press the finisher as the last hit of a combo is landing. And then we have his level 3, the Super Spirit Bomb, which is incredibly situational. Goku himself can't combo into his level 3 through traditional combos. People might find more ways to do it down the line, but so far it seems that a fully charged Spirit Bomb is the only way to do it. And even if Goku is coming in with a follow-up super, not every character is gonna work with him. Gotenks Ghosts can combo into it, Kid Buu's ground level 1 can also do it, Super Saiyan Goku's instant transmission Kamehameha also does it, Yamcha can do it with enough practice, but you do need to get the opponent up there manually though. So yeah, those are just a few examples. It doesn't just work with any team, but the damage this super deals is huge, one of the biggest supers in the entire game. It's very easy to grab a touch of death with Goku on your team if you have the meter, simply because of how much damage this level 3 deals. But again, because of the nature of the super, this also means that situations like a wake up level 3 are not a viable tactic for him. A level 3 in the middle of a block string when you find a gap also doesn't work with Goku. There is one exception, however, which is a reaction to a super dash in certain situations, because the super dash will just track Goku's position and the opponent will just fly straight into the Genki Dama. As far as auto combos go, this is what happens when you press the light attack button. A couple of things to note about his auto combo: his 3rd hit causes a wall bounce instead of your traditional launcher. But if you do a manual combo after the super dash, you can still get a slide knockdown, even though you didn't have the traditional launcher. Also, the 3rd hit of his auto combo is also Goku's assist attack. And yes, it also causes a wall bounce as an assist, which is easy to follow up with the super dash on confirm. It also hits behind Goku, so even if the opponent crosses up, you could still get hit. And then if you press the medium attack button, he does this. And Goku does finish this combo with his Kamehameha if his teammates are dead. However, he doesn't extend the KAIOKEN for as long as he could. He kinda jumps straight into the finisher after a 3-hit combo. And now that we know his moves, here are some extra tips on how to play him. And I've thrown already some tips while explaining each move, so instead of giving you combos and block strings, which will be evolving a lot during these early days, I find it better to give you an idea of his playstyle, which in my opinion is way more important if you're trying trying to decide whether or not you should buy this character. Does this playstyle resonate with you? Is this something that you can see yourself playing? I'm gonna try to answer those questions. So as you've just seen, Goku is a closer. He's usually gonna be in the assist position, waiting for you to deal a lot of damage to your opponent, and then come in and finish the job with his level 3. But for his level 3 to work in this situation, you're gonna need one of those characters we talked about to synergize well with him. Now, you might already be running one of these characters on your team, but if you're not, are you ready to make the change? Because if you're not willing to pick up one of these characters, then you'll be highly underutilizing Goku. Also, Goku likes long assists to cover for him while he gathers energy for his Spirit Bomb. On a sliding knockdown or even in a block string, you might want to call in an assist to cover Goku while he gathers the energy for the Spirit Bomb. After that, you don't need to spend the energy right away. Feel free to swap out Goku and use the other characters, but do try to find a chance to gather that energy, because even if you don't combo the Spirit Bomb into a level 3 super, it still deals a lot of damage in a normal combo. And then if you're using Goku as an anchor, his KAIOKEN is really good. It deals great damage for 2 bars, and it puts the opponent on hard knockdown for 2 bars. Now, the recovery time on the super isn't that great, so it might be hard for you to keep up the pressure after the super is over, making him a natural anchor because he gets stronger as your team dies, and at the same time, not the best anchor in the game at all because he can't keep up the pressure. And outside of that level 3, which can be hard for Goku to land on his own, he's really got no other options for a hard knockdown. Overall, it feels very familiar if you've played Super Saiyan Goku, since a lot of his normals are the same. But since his specials and supers are so different, his game plan becomes completely distinct. He's a very unique character that I think is very fun to play, but I don't believe for a second he'll be a top tier character anytime soon. Thank you for watching another character profile for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Vegeta is obviously up next, but in the meantime, here's a playlist for all of our previous character profiles right next to our top supporters, the people who keep this channel alive. You too can help us out. Check out Patreon and get some cool exclusive rewards. But as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Boy.